I remember thinking that when I embarked on this journey to lose the body fat, I thought it was going to be this really easy step by step process that was going to require little to no effort. As I thought, as long as I just followed the steps, I would be good. And I said, okay, the steps are not super complex. All I got to do is go to the gym, move more, eat less. It can't get much simpler than that. The thing is, I was really fat at the time. I remember specifically, I was super, super fat at this time. And I had a lot of body fat to peel off. And little did I know that that process was going to take a long time. And within that time frame of how long it took, many people quit so easily, right? It doesn't take a lot for somebody to quit. It doesn't take a lot for majority of people to quit. And there were times when I literally gave up on it. I'm like, man, this is just not worth it. Why do I need to get lean? Why do I need to get healthier? Why do I need to do all these things? I'm just like making myself so much more stressed, right? They say that the gym is supposed to make you less stressed, all of these different things, but I didn't feel like I was getting that. I felt like I was obsessing about how I looked, what the weight scale said, and I felt like my quality of life was diminishing. Some people may say that's a bad relationship with fitness and health in general. And to a degree, yes, it could be because you're looking at all these different metrics, and these metrics may not move in the way you want them to move, which, yes, you can argue is a dangerous relationship to have. But you could look at the other end of the spectrum and say, hey, when I get done with this, as cliche or corny as this may sound, I come out as a different man, right? A lot of people may shake their heads and be like, why would I come out as a different man just for changing my physique? Well, there's many reasons why you would come out as a different man when you change your physique. The first thing is you actually know you're a living testimonial of your own methods on like how to lose the body fat and build muscle. You've obviously done it, and once you've done it, you feel unstoppable. You literally feel like you can conquer everything. I know I've said that so many times, but it's literally the truest thing ever, because you know that once you set your mind to something and you follow through with the steps and you're able to get through the hardships of that transformation, you could do anything you want to do. And that is literally a badge of honor you could wear for the rest of your life, right? You could apply those same principles when it comes to any endeavor that you come across within your life. And many people just look at the product, the physical product of what you become. Yeah, okay, I'm in shape, I'm, healthier, I look better, but they don't look at the attributes that come with transforming your body. I can push myself to my limits. You know, I can become more confident. I can become this different person, right? And I've mentioned this before. People see it on you. Like when you are walking around, you got your chest puffed out, you're in shape, people see it. They say, okay, this guy is on his stuff. He knows what he's doing. And the main thing I wanted to dive into today is don't give up. Do not give up, because sometimes you may give up before, you know, right when something great is about to happen. You literally give up right before that. And sometimes you just have to give things time. Majority of the time, you're going to have to give things time. And people are so impatient. They want things so quickly, right? And the way they measure things out, the way they quantify what they could get done in the given time frame, they don't quantify it right? So for example, people look at an amazing physique online, right? And that physique could be natural, but then they say, "Oh, I can't achieve that in my lifetime. Like that's insane. I can't do that." You know, no matter how long I train, no matter how long I do this, I'm never going to be able to achieve that. And you know what? If you give it enough time, you give it 5, 10 years, you can do it. But you got to give it 5, 10 years, right? On the other hand, you got people that say, hey, I can achieve this in 6 months. And then they're looking at the physiques that are like insane. And it's like, okay, let's relax a little bit and actually see what's achievable and what isn't achievable in that time frame you're asking for, right? Because if you kind of misguide yourself in this journey and then you don't get the result that you want, you're going to give up. You're going to be like, hey, I'm literally putting blood, sweat, and tears into this thing and it's not giving me the return that I want. Well, let's be realistic with ourselves. And the first thing I like to do is set small goals for myself. Small goals that culminate into bigger goals, right? Or one big goal. The reason I like to do that is because I can get to something realistic. It could be something as small as, hey, I want to lose 5 pounds within the next maybe month, right? And I'm just starting out my fitness journey, and that is very doable. You can lose 5 pounds within a month, right? You might exceed that goal. You might lose 10, right? So I like to set goals I know I can achieve, right? With that being said, I still aim for the stars, right? My ultimate goal is something crazier, obviously, but I have these goals that are almost like it's like a scaffolding to the bigger goal, right? It builds up to that ultimate goal that I want. And a lot of people like to leapfrog that piece right there, that really important piece, which is setting small goals in order to get to your big goal. So set achievable goals, whether it's, hey, I want to get stronger at this exercise. I want to show up to the gym 3 times a week. I want to show up to the gym 4 times a week. I want to walk every day for 30 minutes. Whatever it might be, set something achievable for yourself. And of course, assess where you're at, because just because somebody else is in one position doesn't mean you're in the same position that they're in. So separate your journey from other people's journeys. And that's where the biggest, you know, failures come in, right? People fail because they literally don't set the proper goal for themselves. And there is a bit of a strategy to it, right? Again, it's assessing where you're at. What can you actually manage to do? Like, what time do I have available during the day to go to the gym or, you know, prep my food, whatever it might be. So the more small goals you set for yourself, the closer you're going to get. And don't get me wrong, things are not going to move in a straight line, right? Even the goal can be so small and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Don't get discouraged when that happens. The only thing you can do and the only beneficial thing you can do is just keep on move forward. Move forward. I'm sorry, I can't speak today, but keep on moving forward with your journey, because stopping is not going to get you closer to where you want to get to, right? I know I'm pointing out the obvious, but sometimes people just completely abandon or don't see the obvious, right? But people need the obvious thing. I'll give you an example. One of my friends, one of my really close friends, he has kind of this goal physique that, again, he has in mind. He's like, yeah, I want to look like this by, 6 months. But I told him, listen, it's going to take you a little bit more than 6 months to get to this desired goal. Why don't we extend your time frame? Why don't we say a year, right? Maybe a year and a half even, just to really give you some time to focus on this goal and build up to it. Because to be quite frank with you guys, this is a process, right? Especially if you're starting at a really perhaps low point. It's a process, and you're not going to get to the physique that you want to as quickly as you think. So I told him, hey, let's set some milestones for you. What are you struggling with right now? Well, I'm struggling to prep my food. I'm struggling to show up to the gym. I'm struggling to just even get some steps in during the day. I work a lot of hours, and again, it's just hard to manage everything. So I tell them, okay, let's make you structure that's achievable. Okay, so you're busy at this time, but you're available here, here, here. Let's go to the gym here, here, here. Let's hit those milestones first. Forget about the crazy routine right now. Just show up to the gym. Let's get the body moving. Let's do something, right? Once I see this individual, my friend, doing those things consistently, this thing that I told him to do, then we can move it up. We can bump it up a little bit. Okay, now let's start, making healthier choices when we go food shopping, right? So instead of ordering DoorDash every single day or, 3, 4 times a week, let's actually go to the food shop and go get the food ourselves, right? We buy the food. I could explain to you how to prep it, and we find the time for you to prep it. We do that consistently for a couple of weeks. Okay, now let's start tracking your calories, right? Then we start building out a meal plan, we build out the macros, everything like that, and so on and so forth. This is exactly how it goes. It's literally just building block after building block after building block, and people are not willing to commit to that. People just want to dive right into it. Meanwhile, they have no experience doing anything, and they're expecting like crazy results. You know, it's just insanity to me when you need to have that scaffolding. If you have that scaffolding, your success rate is going to be way, way, way more higher. And again, I see a lot of videos online talking about how to get from 30% body fat to 10% body fat. Well, that is literally it. It is a process. You're not going to get to it in, you know, one try, right? It's going to take time, and it's literally, again, building block after building block after building block. So my entire point of this video is that everything is a process, right? When you go on this fat loss journey, one of the most misunderstood things is that you could literally just aim for the stars right off the jump, when in reality, we need to build that foundation before we continue with anything, right? Before we even continue with this fat loss journey, we need to have like a standard of like certain things that we do, right? So your activity, your nutrition, your recovery, whatever it might be, we need to build those things up before we just like literally aim our shot, if that makes any sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, drop a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.